An icon and broadcasting legend, and we've lost the king of Detroit TV news. Bill Bonds died this afternoon after suffering a heart attack at his home. He was 82.
Where do you begin with Bill Bonds, right? A Detroit native, a great newsman, a man of wit and intelligence. Bombastic, yes. A showman, definitely. But he cared about this city and its people, and it came across to viewers each and every night.
Our longtime colleague, Eric Smith, looks back at the career of Bill Bonds.
Good evening, everybody. Dangerous weather conditions exist right now. So keep an eye.
At times, he was almost larger than life, and at times, life proved to be much larger than he ever thought it could be. For some 30 years, he ruled the Detroit news scene with the God-given gifts of intellect, style, passion, and an unfettered ego. He was the king of Detroit TV, and he knew it.
Well, whatever you do, you little pilgrims, you don't tear down Billy's throne. That's the way it is around here, Channel 7.
Like so many who came before him, Bill cut his first news teeth in local radio. Then in the mid-1960s, he was summoned to his ordained destiny in television.
Dr. King's standpoint, wouldn't it be virtually impossible to economically boycott Alabama without the participation of the Teamster Union?
Then in 4 frightful days in July 1967, fate intervened. As buildings burned and gunshots rang out in the city streets, Bill Bonds became the voice of the nation's worst urban riot.
We said it couldn't happen here. Things were too good, but it did, and the nation was shocked.
He was the information lightning rod, sorting fact from rumor, truth from tragedy, life from death. They were called the days of madness for good reason, and they changed Bill Bonds and local news in Detroit forever. It was not long before Bill and the Channel 7 news team had become the city's #1 choice for news and information. Bill's reputation had begun to grow beyond Detroit, and it was not long before New York and Los Angeles were calling. He went for a while, but in the mid-1970s he was back where he belonged. The king came home, and his subjects paid homage once again, making him #1 for many years to come. The success came with a price tag, of course. Bill became the highest-paid local news anchorman in America. The paper said he made over $1 million a year, but the money and the fame came with other costs.
You do some damn stupid, destructive things when you're drinking.
I know it did not come as a great surprise to you that I am an alcoholic.
Alcohol became a best friend, and unfortunately traveled too often with him in the car. Ultimately, his friend in the bottle was able to do what no other media competitor could do. It dethroned the king. We had grieved with him when a drunk driver took the life of his daughter. We had laughed with him when he challenged Coleman Young to a fist fight. We had shared the jokes about his toupees. We had watched him trade barbs and hurl questions at the high and the mighty.
Look, I go through enough crap back here. I don't have to go through it with you.
Well,
let me tell you something.
No, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
No, you tell yourself something. I'm tired of talking to you.
Okay, fine. I'm tired of talking to you.
And then one day, it was just suddenly all over. It would never be quite the same at 5, 6, or 11. Yes, the king fought back and came back, this time without his friend in the bottle. His commentaries, once the meat of the lion, seemed to have lost their punch on the MTV generation. Soon after, he reappeared as a paid spokesman for a local furniture store. The ads were empty reminders of another, better time in the king's reign, when the blue eyes and the staccato delivery heralded moments of importance in our city's history. It was often said, in good-natured jest, that Bill Bonds was a legend in his own mind. Today, as we mark his passing, it must be said that Bill truly is and was a legend in his own remarkable time. He was my friend. He was my teacher and, for a time, a mentor. I shall miss him. The king is dead. Long lived the king.